to take on recording some of our Menlo almost said medications. That would have been funny. Menlo Meditations podcast.
Menlo medication
Yes.
for your soul.
Hey, YouTube. It's Mark and Brooke.
Hey.
Hi. Brooke, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
you are one of our hosts and speakers for our Menlo Meditations podcast, which we want all of YouTube to go and check out right now. It's on Apple, Google, Spotify, season 2. And so let's talk about that, Brooke. It's been a fun process so far. We just wrapped up week 1.
Yeah.
What are some highlights from this past week?
Oh, man. Week 1 was so good already. I mean,
Yeah.
can't go wrong with Matt and Adam and Mary recording these. I think episode 3, Adam's voice, just in general on the meditation podcast from season 1.
Okay.
And then from this week, his voice is just so like that perfect narrative, like
Yes.
the tone of it and stuff. Like I just watched this week a Christmas movie where Steve Martin was narrating.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
on any movies or like TV shows where they have like the narrator comes in to say the like wise
Sure.
like thing that they figured out throughout the movie, like
Yeah.
the lesson of it, right? And that's like Adam's voice to me. So it just like makes everything he says sound really wise. Yeah. Like he knows what he's talking about.
He does.
This is truth.
It's all a ruse though, right, Adam? I know you're listening out there somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. He's doing great.
I think though too, I was going to say episode 4, yesterday's, Mary's.
Yeah.
It's just so like the sense, like the feeling of it, I feel like is so hopeful and light. I really feel like, man, I know people struggle with like anxiety and fear a lot. And if that's you, like, I feel like that episode is going to be really good for those people.
Yes.
And I mean, they're so short, right? They're like 3 minutes. It's a great, easy way to like start your day. But what I also love about them being so short is you can listen to them multiple times.
Oh,
And because there's so much packed in there, like
Yeah.
every person's every day, there's like so many good nuggets in there that like, and it almost creates that more meditative sense, like listening to them a couple
Sure.
times through. Of course, I was listening to them multiple times so I could, you know, talk about them more, but
yeah. And of course, they're designed to be listened to in the morning, but I can see some benefit in revisiting them, or instead of just taking, you know, the 2 to 4 minutes that they are in the morning, but maybe carving out 15 minutes and listening to it a few times and kind of, that's...
you could almost do it like a Lectio Divina,
Right, yeah.
you know, like the divine reading where it's like you read a passage of scripture, you pause, you kind of like think about it, and then you read it again.
Right.
You could totally use them that way too.
Yeah.
So you could like listen to it once, kind of like let that sink in, listen to it again. But yeah, revisiting at night even, or in the afternoon, like if you're just feeling like you want something to kind of kickstart your day, switch your mindset or something. But
Yeah, I've been listening to him in the morning, and I've thought like this is just such a great day. Usually I'll wake up and part of my routine is like Bible study and then go and make my smoothie or my coffee. But I'm doing meditations as well as the Bible study, and it's just like it's putting my mindset in a different way for Advent. And I think that in a season like this that can be so busy, or like you said, it can cause so much anxiousness or just bring up a whole bunch of different kinds of feelings. It's just such a great way to center that. So yeah, that's awesome. I should probably think about doing it throughout the day as well. And you said that you like those two. I'm guessing it was one of those was your can't miss episode from this week.
actually, I feel like the can't miss episode was Tuesday, the second one.
I was going to say Tuesday. You can't steal mine. Okay. Why was
No.
it for you?
Tuesday, okay.
And that was Matt's
just-
episode, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Matt's episode, the second one of his that first week, or this first week, I should say. But just to like start off, the music on that one is so cool.
Yeah.
It's like this weird, like it puts you into this dream-like imaginative like sense, I almost think, where, and then the scripture he talks about is an angel like giving an announcement.
Right.
And then Jacob's dream. So it's like this angelic proclamation
Sure.
and someone literally dreaming. And so it kind of almost puts you in that mindset of like this dreamlike sense, or I don't know, it just kind of like unlocks this imagination, meditative, like just kind of, it lets your mind open up to really see this picture
Right.
of what's happening in the passage. And then the content alone, like Jacob's line of, surely God must be in this place and I'm just now aware of it. Like it's like this light bulb moment went on for him, right? Like, oh, I get it now. Like God's always been here. Yeah. But I'm now showing up to this.
Right.
And I kind of feel like that's what these meditations kind of do in themselves. Like they remind us every morning, if we're listening to them each day, that like God's already here. He's already present, but am I present? Like, am I allowing myself to show up and meet him? Yeah. And yeah, so I just loved that episode.
That's so good. My thoughts were very similar to those, but definitely not as deep. So I'm glad that I asked you first, because I can't really add anything to that.
Oh, I'm sure.
But so as a speaker, I'm curious, because as a listener, like you said, in the morning, like it's just a great way to insert myself into the presence of God, as well as, in preparation for his coming on Christmas. As a speaker, as you're preparing for this, has this made you view Advent differently as opposed to seasons past?
Yeah, I don't know that it's really made me think about it in a different way or like a new light, but it just made me start thinking about it earlier in the season because I had to prep for it.
Sure.
And, so often, I know for myself at least, like in years past, it's like I'm trying to find like a new Advent reading book, some kind of devotional I can read through Advent, or something I haven't read before or listened to before. And I'm always like trying to find that content. And then December hits and I forget. I'm like, oh yeah, Advent already started. Shoot, like I need to get something. And it always just kind of feels a little rushed to me to like start it. And then you might feel like you're behind or whatever, all these things. So yeah, prepping for this podcast, just allowed me to kind of settle into the fact that Advent's coming.
Sure.
A little bit before it actually hit.
Okay.
So that I could kind of slowly enter the season a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it's a crazy season. Everybody's got a bunch of things they're thinking about, and shopping lists and travel plans and, whatever all those things are. Despite whatever our regular full-time jobs are, right? Like on top of that, we have our personal life. And so just getting to enter that a little bit earlier. And that's what I love too about these, right? Like nobody had to go out and find like extra content. It's just like, here you go.
Right.
Here's some meditations for your Advent season.
Thank you for that.
It's a gift.
Yes, we hope that everyone listening too would also come and join us in listening. And so it's a gift for us because we just went through week 1, but you've already been preparing for weeks 2 and maybe 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So what can we get excited for about what's to come?
Man, I think just more of this podcast, like honestly, like more wisdom from Adam and Matt and Mary. All of their teaching is so good. And, the future weeks, we got the more traditional Advent themes. We started with the incarnation, which isn't always tied in with the Advent themes, but is a great way to start, like to think about the, reality of Jesus coming in human form. And then to get into the more conceptual ideas, right, of the hope, which is week 2, and joy and peace and love. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to hearing on all of those topics, just different insights that just the variety of teachers bring too. Of course. Right? Because we all just think about things so differently. And so there's just always good nuggets to pull from, the vast amount of scripture we have to pull from and all of that too. So, I'm just excited to hear more.
Me too. And Brooke, thanks so much for coming on today. We're also going to be hearing from our other speakers as well, Matt and Adam and Mary. And we're going to be releasing these on Fridays, hopefully. So we're going to be hearing from one speaker a week until the season 2 closes. So Brooke, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
I'm looking forward to hearing all of your other podcasts to come. So thanks.
Thanks.
All right. See you, everybody.